up, fellow degenerates of the Iron Haven? That sounds cringe as fuck. Completely forget I ever called the gym that. I'm literally making shit up as I go. But I'm actually in a rush to get to the gym right now, right? So I don't have the lav mic set up, so I apologize for the video quality on this one clip going on. We've got a squat day going on. We've got safety squat bar squats. We're continuing that, but my coach and I conferred with each other, and now I hopefully will be performing safety squat bar squats correctly this time. And he took out the 3/4 squats, so we're doing a progression with regular barefoot safety squat bar squats with the safety squat bar set up as high as possible on. It's not on the back anymore, it's on the neck. And it gives a little bit of a head rush. But after that, we've got the general leg curl with goblet squats, because we've got to continue the path, the journey, learning how to properly squat, because I have a habit of getting onto my toes when I'm squatting in competition. So the more often that I have to sit back in training and kind of redistribute my weight onto the back of my feet and better accommodate the position of the bar. So a lot of the safety squat bar stuff is basically high bar, but even higher than high bar. Then we've got the goblet squats where it's in front of us. The weight is in front of us, so we've got to sit back to counterbalance towards that. And then we've got the we've got more leg curls with the it's 1.5 deadlifts, or Romanian dumbbell deadlifts, where I'll explain what those are once we get to them. And then we're finishing off with a couple of cool, precise supersets. But the reason I am rushing to the gym right now, all right, is because the homies, a specific homie, Shannon, requested that I be present for the next bench PR. And she's at the gym, I believe currently. She DM'd me asking me when I was going to arrive at the gym. And I was like, oh shit, I got to leave now. So she's coming up on a 190 pound bench press as I believe it's either 123 or 132 pound female competitor. Damn. And last time she took a bench PR, I was also the handoff person, so it's something superstitious likely. Or I give the best handoffs this side of Hampton. Best believe it. But it looked like it was a sandbagged rep. It looked way too easy. I think it was 180. And she's been training pretty hard, so she's going for 190. And I've been giving her shit constantly that she's got a 200 pound bench coming up right around the corner, right? So we got to get to the gym to make sure that she has the correct handoff person and spotter for her bench PR, because I am an extremely good person first, I guess. But anyways, I will see you there. So that is exactly what happens when your coach mentions that he wants you to be leaning into something. He wants me to be leaning into the camber of the safety squat bar. And I was like, someone left the spider bar on the mono that I want to use, because I have to use bands with the safety squat bar. Hey, coach, I have access to a spider bar. Want me to use that instead of the safety squat bar? Because I fucking hate the safety squat bar. I'd rather masturbate with sandpaper than use it, to be honest. Boys. Mistakes were made. That was an entire different experience, boys. So, warming up, I've never used a spider bar before. My first mistake. I've never used one before. I've used a camber bar before. They're a little fun. Safety squat bar, fucking hate it. Put them together. Anyone offering sandpaper enemas? So, once I finally worked up to 4 plates per side, I have no fucking clue what the weight on the bar is. I think it's 430. I think it might be an 80-pound bar. 45 pounds, I had 35. So that may have been 440. So I may have overshot the program. Fuck. Anyways, so first set. Well, let's back up a minute. First warm-up set. I start prairie dogging, right? And I'm like, this is going to be a really good poop. So I go to the bathroom. I take a dump. This shit was the most reluctant shit in my entire life. You ever take a dump and like the poop chute, you've got muscles in your sphincter, right? And it pushes the poo-poo out, right? And then you can get to a point where the poo-poo is beyond the grasp of your muscles in your sphincter, right? But it's still in your butt. Well, it's not in your butt, but like in your colon. I'm not a biologist. I'm just a guy who lifts heavy weights. There's an area where poop can be. It's still inside of you, but there's no muscles there to push it out, right? So I wipe, still poop. I flush, right? I wipe, still poop. At this point, I'm like, what the fuck? I lean back on the toilet seat and say, fuck, this is so fucking annoying. Will this shit just stop being in me at this point? So I wipe more. I finish. The toilet paper is coming back more red than brown at this point. And I'm like, we're close enough. We're good. There's no brown. Don't worry, there's no brown. So, get to set 1 and do my first set of 6 with 4 plates per side, 440 pounds, right? I re-rack it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? My butthole bursts. It feels like it is on fire. It feels like I just did a ghost pepper challenge anally. Like, it is on fire. I'm like, what the fuck? Why is my butthole like this? Right? And everyone at the gym is making fun of me because I'm like, what the fuck? My asshole's on fire. What the fuck? Why does my butthole burn? And they're like, oh, you just prolapsed. And I'm like, no, I've seen enough of those points. This is not that. So, set 2. My butthole doesn't burn, right? Not this time. I don't know what I did different, but my butthole does not burn this time. Instead, after set 3, I try to take a second breath, right? Does not happen. The weight is sitting on my neck in a certain way that I cannot breathe. I cannot take a breath. So I just go, oh shit. I have to take quick, fast breaths. I can't get a full breath. I can't fill my diaphragm with air. Fuck. This is not good. So I rushed the last 3 reps out. I'm like, fuck. I was getting choked out. I am not currently masturbating. That was not okay. We do not want to get choked out while we are squatting, right? So my coach has a cue for me when I'm using handles on the squat, right? This is a spider bar, which has handles, which is similar to a safety squat bar. And the cue is to kind of try to fist bump so that you get lat engagement. I didn't remember the lat engagement part. And I said pec engagement, because we did talk about how people do strain their pecs on squats. I remember that part of our conversation. So I'm choking myself out because I got titties the size of, I got titties the size of your mama, except they're not sagging. You know? So every single set, I'm trying to punch my fists and I'm choking myself out. I'm not even getting hard. I'm getting scared. I am breathing fast. My heart rate skyrockets, but I still got the work done. I sent an update to my coach and he was like, oh, sorry, I was on a call, right? Because he has a life too. He's got other clients other than me. I'm his most handsome client. I'm his best client, but I'm not his only client, right? So I sent him. I was like, "This is what's going on." He was like, "Oh, push the handles out a little further." I was like, "The fuck? That's the exact opposite of what you told me to do with the safety squat bar. You wanted the safety squat bar pretty much on my chest. The handle's pretty much on my chest. That's what you wanted." He says, "No, I want you to put your hands further down and push it out, and also try to engage your lats." Fourth set, I do that. He did not tell me to engage my lats at that point, but I did not choke myself out. It was the best set. It was a good set. It was a fast set. It was a good set. I did not choke myself out. I did not get a boner. I did not burn my butthole. So, um, what did we learn? We learned that sometimes being lazy sucks. Okay, every time you're lazy, it sucks. But we also learned something that is extremely difficult because this bar is more beneficial towards me. It does exactly what we want it to. It does exactly what my coach Joe was trying to get done with my safety squat bar, but better. So we're learning a little bit more. We're getting more acclimated to the terrible sides of my squats, right? But anyways, I've been rambling on way too much, and I don't know why I'm talking so fast, but we have some supersets to do. We got a superset here, boys. We have the leg curl with a 2-count pause. I have completely forgotten how many sets and reps that I'm supposed to do. Fuck. I'm going to set it up anyways while I explain it to you guys. And then I'm going to shut you guys the fuck up. Come on. You good? Oh, that's better. I'll explain it to you guys. So, what you want is you want the pivot arm, right? The bolt of the pivot where your knee is. And that's approximately where that is. That's where you want to set the chair up. There we go. Okay. So we're supersetting this with a 2-count pause at the bottom with a set number of reps that you will see that I do not currently know because I've not checked it. So to pause it at the bottom, I'm so fucking attractive. The thing about hamstring curls, right? It's not entirely hamstrings. If you want to hold it at the bottom, you're going to have to incorporate some other muscles into the movement, right? I've got 180 pounds on this because it's going to be incorporating other muscles into it. And I want to be able to tap into the correct muscle groups a little bit more aggressively. So once you get to the bottom, you're going to squeeze your glutes. That's going to hold things tight. That's how you lock out a deadlift, right? That's how you lock out a squat. You squeeze your glutes, everything locks into place. So when you get to the bottom, this one, I'm able to tap my toes on the ground because of the way that it is and the way that I am. Just squeeze the glutes and squeeze the hamstring. Basically, squeezing the glute squeezes your hamstring, which pins it to the ground. And then you try to control it back up. If you're able to control things back up, you're going to incorporate more gains into it. Because the act of controlling, how many of you motherfuckers took physics in high school? Y'all know that mass equals force times acceleration, right? And the pull of gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared. So everything has a weight. It's getting pulled down with a force according to gravity. We are trying to, by controlling a weight, we are applying a force in the opposite direction. The weight is moving, so it is an opposite force, but it is not equal. But we're still applying a force. So by controlling something, we're attributing some sort of force. We're still utilizing our muscles, and we're increasing the time under tension. So we're basically we're feeding 2 birds with 1 stone, specifically pumpkin scones with chocolate chips, because birds, they may be CIA operatives, but still, they're not cute. I'm terrified of birds. They got like sharp beaks, and I got like soft pointy bits. Like they don't mend well with birds. Like fucking octopuses, they're so smart, and they have beaks. Like fuck, I feel like my dick would invert just think. Ugh. Anyways, we're supersetting this with goblet squats. Goblet squats, we have the weight out in front of us because we get on our toes too often, and that pushes the weight out in front of us. We want to learn to sit back when the weight gets out in front of us. So
we're supersetting goblet squats. We're pre-fatiguing our hamstrings and glutes, and then we're going into the goblet squats because, you know, fucking that's how squats work. You thought we don't have one superset today? You were fucking wrong. We've got a second superset. We just supersetted leg curls with goblet squats, right? Now we're gonna superset, wait for it, leg curls. Oh my goodness. We're doing leg curls twice in the same training day. Whew. Oh, oh, oh. I fucking hate it. We're supersetting that with dumbbell 1.5 RDLs. I told you guys I would explain that when I did them. So what a 1.5 RDL is you do an RDL, right? You go all the way down. Don't bend your knees. Try and keep that lat engagement, that core engagement, that oblique engagement, so that you have a healthy back and you're not doing it entirely with your back. You're trying to target your hamstrings and your glutes like a good little girl or a boy. Let's be honest, my entire audience is men. Like a good little boy, right? So you go all the way down with all those engagements. You come halfway up, and you go back down. And then you go all the way up. That is 1 rep. Each rep is 1.5 reps, right? So you're hitting the bottom 4 times every 2 reps. So it's 1.5 reps. So we've got a set of 10 with the leg curls, but I am a girthy boy, and this leg curl machine only goes up to 200 pounds. If I'm doing regular leg curls with 200 pounds, it'll, not to toot my own horn, but I'm kind of a strong guy, right? So we are going to do single leg curls, because when you distribute the weight between 2 legs, each leg gets half the load approximately. There's lever arms and whatnot, but I'm not a physicist. I'm not an actual physicist, just a mathematician. So I'm good with variables, not with theory, right? Except all of math is a theory. Math isn't real. It's the first thing you learn when you become a mathematician. Math isn't real. All math research is trying to get rid of math, basically, because everything stems on the numbers 0 and infinity, and they're just trying to get that the fuck out of math, because math is inherently flawed, because 0 and infinity aren't actually number. They're not numbers, they're ideas. You can't do math with ideas, right? So we switch over to single leg curls so that we can increase the weight stack that much more. We isolate better and we get a better pump. That's it. So ain't none to it but to do it. I 100% sandbag that. I need to increase the weight on that next time by a lot. That was like RPE. Could watch porn and jerk off while doing that. So I was training today, right? And let me adjust this so I can actually be in the picture when I'm in the best lighting, right? Because lighting's the where everything comes in, right? So I was training today, and I never really get a pump on squat days, leg days, whatever. And I was like, man, the Bears are going to be so disappointed in me. I'm not going to take my shirt off at the end of this video. Ooh, look at that. Look at that trap separation from the deltoid. Ooh. 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 Maybe I'll throw a filter on this so that like I can cheat a little. I don't have the trap separate. Yeah. But I was thinking to myself, I don't really have a pump. I just finished off doing a little bit of back. How I don't know how to properly pose. But I was like, why am I going to take my shirt off for the Bears if I don't have a pump? They're not going to want to watch this. And then I was like, what? What fucking kind of logic is that? I'm not doing this for the Bears. I'm not doing this for the Bears. It's funny to me that every single one of my videos spikes when I take my shirt off because of the Bears. And I appreciate you getting all those views, bumping up my video reach because the Bears are loving the shirtless sections of the video. Ooh. It's like I'm losing a bit of fat right now. I'm 338. I compete at 352. So like I basically bulk up to compete and then I drop down so I can walk around and be healthier all the time because you don't need to be strong all the time just when you're on the platform, right? And I was thinking to myself, I'm not doing this for the bears. I'm doing this for me. These are progress videos. This is that progress is the entire goal of these videos, right? Like, you know how many hours I've spent watching RuneScape videos because they're progress videos. And I like progress. I like seeing progress. So I'm showing you guys where I'm at. Even though my training isn't super heavy, it's not super bodybuilding-y. Well, it kind of is right now, where we're just depleting the glycogen reserve. So we're losing size. Look at it. Oh, my goodness. It's like this trap, which is my underhand when I deadlift, and this is my overhand when I deadlift. I got way more trap development going on over there. So these are progress videos. And I'll take my shirt off in them so that one day down the line I can look back and I can see all these videos, right? I've posted pretty much every training day either on Instagram or on YouTube. And I'm basically tracking my progress, right? So that's why I take my shirt off every video. It's not so that you guys can masturbate. Wait, how long is this clip's been? 3 minutes. If you're able to finish in 3 minutes, shame on you. But I'm doing this for me, guys. But I do explain everything for you guys because I want you guys to be my friends, you know? You be my friends. You want to be my friend? You want to be my strange online friend that I have never met before, but you want to be my friend? My friend? But that's why I'm doing this. Not any sort of like in lieu of OnlyFans. No. Doing this for me. So it just happens to benefit the bears most.
All right, boys, we did it. Another day of squats, another day of violently shitting ourselves mid-set. And we got timed rest periods, so do with that information what you will. But we got violated by that spider bar. It was not a good time. Then I wallowed in self-pity and disgust as to what transpired for way too long. That I was like, I don't want to do anything now. That was so it felt like I was unracking $1,000 because so eventually when you start squatting heavy enough, there is a weight predetermined based on your strength abilities as to what amount of air you can take into. So when you unrack a certain amount of weight, you're going to be able to take a second breath. You're going to be able to breathe under the bar, right? If you take a heavier weight, you open your mouth, your air is getting knocked out of you. So if any of you watch me at the American Pro, you'll see it, if you want to like really look in at fine details, you can see on my 953, my opener, I took my breath, I took my pick, I took a second breath to get even more in. Now, I've experienced the getting the air knocked out of me enough times that I am able to identify when a weight is heavy enough that I'm not going to be able to take a second breath, right? So I took the 1,003 and I was like, nope, can't take a second breath. We're gonna have to do what we can with the air that we have, right? And then 1025 was the same thing. I was like, this is heavier, so it's like not even no, there's no way that it's gonna feel lighter, you know? And besides, I was overheating at that point anyway, so there's no chance I could have even gotten like 500 pounds, to be honest. Probably shouldn't have loaded up 1025 at all. Probably should have scratched thirds just with how violently I was overheating at that point. But it felt like that. So what I was doing was I was cueing my hands wrong. I was trying to, the cue that I have is fist bump yourself. And I was like, oh, that's going to activate my pecs. So I was activating my pecs. Turns out I can choke myself standing up with just my titties. Anyways, we went on to the first superset of the day, which was the leg curl with a pause at the bottom, supersetted with goblet squats, working on actually getting off of our toes and onto our heels when we are squatting so that we don't suffer too much. When we don't want to get on our toes with 1,000 pounds again. That sucked. I still feel the damage to my lats that attributed right now. And it's like every time that I do a back accessory, it's so what it is it's so tight that it's actually pulling my ribs out of line, right? So and my spine a little bit out of line too. So I've had a homie step on my back, actually jump on my back, kind of ride me like a jet ski. But every time that I do a back movement, a lat movement, I'm focusing on that stretch, and that stretch is really loosening things up in my back and my lats, my traps, because that's where. So if you'll see, why are we talking about my last meet? That meet's over, but you'll see my. Basically the bar rolls forward on me, I get on my toes, and my upper back collapses. And that upper back collapse led to my upper back having it's not injuries, it's just it was extra tight the next day. And even 4 or 5 weeks later, wherever we are, 5 or 6 weeks later, it's still a little grumpy sometimes. And just working that stretch reflex, or not reflex, but working the stretch portion of the lat movements, like the rows and stuff, lat pull downs, kind of stretching that area is benefiting me in kind of helping reduce the inflammation, tightness, and whatever is going on over there. It feels way better now, but I mean, I probably should have gone to a chiropractic to get it adjusted, but I am poor and live in my parents' guest room. So you best believe I can't afford that shit. So we moved on to the 1.5 deadlifts. I forgot to take my squat shoes off for those. So we got heel elevated 1.5 deadlifts, and that brought a little extra oomph to the badonkadonk, right? Got a little bit more glute isolation, a little more hamstring activation going on there. So it was a good time. If there were any females at the gym, they would have been like, damn, Patrick, your ass looks fine. And I'd be like, I know. Ah, shit. I just hit my trash can. But not that I'm driving. Driving is bad. Don't drive distracted, people. But we finished off with... Is that really all I... This day takes way too long. You know, I need to reincorporate the... I used to have a timer on Instagram to make sure that I was only on it for an hour a day, right? But, it would get to the point where I was like, oh, I know how to kind of supersede this. So that's basically how addiction works, right? It's an addiction to dopamine and social media. And what happens is you feel like dog shit and you get depressed. So yesterday I was actually really depressed, which is why I didn't record the outro, because I'd spent all day on Instagram, social media, and actually my pinky and ring finger on my dominant hand are getting extra inflammation because you know how you hold your phone where it's just on your pinky. Your pinky's basically at your charger port, and then it's supported by your other fingers. Yeah. So I need to get off of social media and actually be productive in the world for once. But finish off with the single arm lat pull down. That one feels really good on the wing section of the lat. Kind of like Red Bull might give you wings, But lat pull downs, when you're able to like tap into like a really nice squeeze, it's like getting hugged by someone with really big boobs. Like, it's the best hug that you can ever get. So, finished off with that. And when we were done, I looked at my Fitbit and I had 6,000 steps. And I was like, fuck. I realized that during my cardio, which was assault bike, sprints, and 3,200 meters on the assault bike, I had my Fitbit on my hand rather than on my Crocs. So I didn't cheat any of my steps today. All my steps were actual steps and not cheated at all. Because I am a filthy cheater when it comes to steps, but I still hit 10,000 steps a day. Sometimes you just don't want to walk and you like just attach the Fitbit to your shoe. That's what I do. Or sometimes you can't even wear the Fitbit on your wrist because you got wrist wraps on. So you put the Fitbit in your pocket and it's going to still accurately be like, hey, you're walking. You're doing a good job. I just can't see your heart rate right now, little boy. But anyways, I have to go eat my final meal of the day, which is 190 grams of Fruity Pebbles, because I was supposed to have 40 grams of carbs intra-workout. I did not, but I do not want to be calorically deprived today. So we are putting that 140 grams worth of carbs into our final meal of the day, which is a pure carb meal. It is 150 grams of Fruity Pebbles with 12 ounces of Fairlife milk. So we're easily able to substitute, not even substitute, kind of like nudge. This is a carb meal, so let's nudge the carbs that we missed into the carb meal. It's not cheating. It's just not timing it right. We're still doing it good. But anyways, after I do that, I have to go shower because I shit myself while squatting. But you know what they say? If you don't shit yourself while squatting, how do you know you're squatting enough? Anyways, stay degenerates. That's a fucking tongue twister. Stay deplorable, degenerates. Patty out.